What's going on, Charisma?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
It's a, I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to finally hear your voice after we've been chatting for so long.
Yeah, so nice. Thank you for the invite.
Of course, man. So, should we wait a second to get some more people in here, or should we just jump right into it? What do you guys think?
I just tweet about that, so maybe just wait a couple of minutes.
Okay,
Or
I'm gonna get some water and stuff as well, so I'll
yeah,
be right
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey, no, hello everyone. Cool people already. I'm nervous every single time I talk in a space, but it's helping me improving my English, so I need to force myself. Hello, Ahmad, my brother.
I think everyone's excited.
All right. Um, are we ready to go?
Yeah,
I think we're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Charisma, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just finished a piece working on upcoming projects. Exciting stuff on the way, and yeah, cannot wait to share more.
Is that the one you were tweeting about last night, talking about how you're gonna share a new piece
Yeah,
later in the day or something like that?
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna share that probably after we finish with this space, and might be my first edition piece. I created
Okay.
a contract called Charisma Studies and Gems. Um, Sometimes I would like to give a little spotlight to my studies and works that I consider really gems, but um, I feel like I don't want them to be one of ones, you know?
Yeah, they're like extras, sort of.
Yeah, but not leftovers, but pieces that I truly love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. Okay, so with that, to start off, the first question of the interview, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, where you're from, all that kind of stuff, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, I'm Charisma. An artist. Been working on digital mediums for a long time now, uh, but now exploring more with traditional. Been loving mixing styles as well, and mixed doing mixed media works as well. Really fun. Allow me to express more and more. And I'm from Italy. I'm Italian. That's why my English might sound horrible at times, but as I said, I'm learning, I'm improving as well. I'm trying my best to, and I've spent some time doing works for galleries. I was represented by one of the biggest gallery in Italy, but shortly after I noticed that it wasn't worth it, especially with the NFTs war that was rising. So I decided to left the traditional market, I'd say, and moved more into this world. And it was tough at first because I was really into I mean I wasn't really into social media. um, for me it was best to just print my works and go into galleries and say, well, that's what I do. If you're interested, please let me know. And but now I enjoy spending my time in here with cool people. So yeah, that's it.
I love that, man. Which, by the way, your English is great, so don't be self-conscious. You sound great.
Okay, okay.
Um, Yeah, that's awesome, man. So how did you get started in like the traditional art world? Like, how did you get your foot in the door there?
The fact is that I wasn't really able to express my feeling by sitting on a chair with a Wacom tablet on my legs, and I, I I truly felt the need to move my body and create, sweating and feeling tired and stuff. So getting my hands dirty, I'd say. So I I was really I started being super interested in with ink works, watercolor works. I was fascinated by the textures and stuff. As you may have noticed, I really care about the textures on my works and truly spend a lot of time creating them. So um, I wanted to just uh, buy some materials, even if I never tried them before. I used to make some sketches with charcoal and graphite and these simple mediums, but never used acrylics, oils, and ink and watercolor. So I've just purchased them and tried them without looking at any course or videos explanation about how to use them. I just went with the flow, and I have created some pieces that I truly love. Um, but I never stick with one single medium, even if I work in traditional. I can't start a piece in acrylics and end it with acrylics. I Most of the time I start with charcoals. I'd say it depends on the work really, but if I create a portrait, I usually give the general informations with charcoal. That it's amazing to create some kind of shading and stuff. But shortly after, I get bored and I want to pick a brush and start working with acrylics. So it just get messy, but I love that.
Yeah, I love that, man. I can definitely agree with you there. I feel like even for my artwork, it's always nice to just like mix a bunch of mediums together and just kind of see where it goes. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I've noticed that you do that, and it inspired me to work on sketchbooks work because you created
Oh,
beautiful
stop, bro.
pages.
Stop,
Then
stop.
um,
I love that, man. I love to hear that. That's great. So, how did you like when it comes to mixing the media? You say that you kind of mix digital and physical a little bit. Like, do you just like scan in like pages and then like work digitally on it? Like, how does that process
Yeah,
work for you?
usually depends on the day on how I feel, but if I create some sort of portrait, I like uh, to draw that digitally, and I notice super soon that something is missing, some kind of depth. So I just pick my brushes, I use a ton of waters and start brushing around on a paper. I usually use bad quality paper for the simple reason that you create some kind of artifacts on the paper, like like the coffee stains on the paper.
Yeah, I'm following it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
yeah, yeah.
use high quality paper, you're just gonna get the brush strokes. But if you use bad quality paper, especially with water, the paper is gonna blend and create some nice textures, especially with acrylics. So that's what I do. I truly,
I feel like it like soaks it up differently. Like it soaks into the
yeah,
water differently or something. I know
yeah,
what you mean.
exactly. And it looks way better when you try to scan that because it looks more natural. If you just
Yeah.
do a brushstroke on a clean paper, high quality paper on white, it's just gonna look like, I don't know, kind of flat. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And I've seen you even like draw on top of Sorry about that, man. Where were we at?
You notice that I draw on top of something, but the app
Oh yeah,
crashed.
yeah, yeah,
Should
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen you draw on top of like postcards and stuff like that. Just like random like papers that I feel like you just find or whatever.
Yes, I love to do that.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that. No, I
yeah.
totally agree. I've done things in the past where like I'll find like papers literally just like on the street or something like that, or even like a piece of wood on the street, and then I'll like take it
Mm-hmm.
home and like throw some inks and like collage on it. I haven't done that in a while. I've been doing a lot more digital stuff recently, but I definitely partake in that stuff as well. So I know what you mean about like it just feels cool. Like I don't
Yeah,
know, it's like you're bringing new life to like this old piece of paper. You know what I mean? It feels cool.
yeah. Especially we are like problem solver. So when you approach new mediums, you're gonna wait, sorry. When you approach new mediums, you're gonna kind of find a solution for every problem you face.
Mm.
So I feel like it allows me and allowed me in the past to work uh, different and find beautiful approaches to my work. Sometimes I get stuck, but when I just go with the flow, it helps me really. So
Yeah, no, I love that.
I suggest you just not stick with a medium, but work on different if you can. It's definitely gonna
I love
help.
what. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's it.
I was just gonna say I love how you mentioned like the flow state, and I totally agree with that. Like once you as an artist, for me at least, I don't know if this is for everybody, but once you're in that like flow zone, I feel like everything just kind of comes naturally, and you're able to just
Yes.
kind of go with whatever happens. You know, like even
Mm-hmm.
if you make a mistake, you kind of just like work with it. It's not really a mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said that we are a problem solver because I truly felt the need to create this way. I was truly stuck with digital. I was trying to do everything with digital and it was pretty much impossible, especially when you try to reach some kind of depth. It's really, 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 really hard. So the
Yeah, and I will say
technology,
like, go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry, the technology is amazing because it really allows you to create some kind of beautiful textures. But the when you feel rage and you do a brush strokes on paper with a brush, it's gonna look different every single time. So that's why I decided to mix it my mediums.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm.
They're definitely their own worlds. Like I feel like with physical, you can get textures that you just can't get with digital. Like you can like
Mm-hmm.
make similar textures, but it's not going to be the exact same. It's kind of the same about like going to a museum and looking at paintings in person. Like it's just totally
Yeah,
different when you see it in front of your eyes.
yeah, because you feel the depth of it.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, I had another question. So I've noticed that in a lot of your work, I see you portray like figures in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different ways, and I was wondering like, do those people mean anything to you? Are they coming just straight from your imagination, or are you using like photos to create the people? Like where do those people come from?
Okay, well, Freud said it's impossible for us to create faces in our mind. If you try to think about a new face, like create a new face in your brain with your imagination, it would be impossible. You just can't. You will try to pick eyes that you have already seen, and mouth that you already seen, noses that you already seen. So um, I use reference, that's for sure. Um, I've studied anatomy for a long time now, but when it comes to create some kind of values and some kind of shape, you really need to have a reference. But with my style, I tend to usually kind of deform the face, of course. So it's never like the reference, but I use the reference for my values. And what I've noticed is that I've been starting creating my portrait by drawing the eyes, and the shape of the eyes determines the way the how I'm gonna finish the work, because it's pretty much reflect the way I feel at that moment. So if I draw an happy eye, I'm probably gonna draw an happy play, an happy piece. But if I feel sad and I draw a couple of sad eyes, the piece is gonna look like that. So that's why I'm really enjoying and started creating portrait and sticking with them. And but shortly after, I got bored quickly because I was just drawing faces every single day, and I loved that. But I felt the need to expand.
And is that how you went into like the more just like straight up abstract stuff? Because I've seen you kind of like you kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Yes, because when you do a portrait, it's like you're portraying someone that is dying, and it was weird. So I started creating abstract because it's something like that lasts for eternity. It's a feeling that you are drawing, and it's gonna last. It's like a memory. Sometimes memories are more important than reality, because they happened 100%, and it allows you to move from them. You can just portray them and making them last for eternity. So that's why I created abstract works.
Yeah, I love that, man. And just for me personally, I always like I love all of your work, but your abstract work is always what speaks to me more so. Just because I'm more of an abstract physical artist myself.
Yeah.
But I really liked what you said about how like you can't imagine a face like just out of nowhere. Like I've never even thought about that because I don't think to make art like into like portraits. I've never really done that. But that's a really good point. Like, yeah, I was trying to like, as you were saying it, I was trying to like, imagine
No, it's just
like a
impossible
new
to
face
do.
in it. Yeah, no, I've never thought about that before. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so next question is, how did you get involved into like NFTs as a whole, and what are your opinions on the entire like scene?
Well, as I say, I was really stuck into the traditional art world, and I felt like I wasn't really fit in it because my work was really dark at time, and most of the times the person that used it to represent me said that we couldn't exhibit what I was working on because it was too dark for the people to see. So I was like, they wanted me to create works for the people, and they were not accepting my personal works. And the personal work is always the one that you like the most, and you'd like to exhibit to the people, for the people, and even if it's harder because you are pretty much showing yourself naked. But that's what I do, and I was really happy to exhibit my works, but they were pretty much deciding about everything. So I've just said fuck off. Sorry, but and
No, don't be
okay,
sorry. They deserve
yeah.
it.
and just kept creating my works, and I was like, okay, Instagram is not working. I was just putting my works into the black void, and no one was noticing me. So, and on Instagram, it's not like Twitter where have you have really interest in sharing someone else's work, and you have the power to do so and change pretty much everything with just a click of a button. So I started doing Twitter because I wanted to speak as well about my works, because on Instagram, that you post a work, you give that a title, and no one is gonna read what you're gonna say about the work. So I started speaking about myself, and then started posting my works and giving them a title, and it was perfect for me. And that's why I feel like I fit in this space, because I truly I have genuine love for my art and the other people art and what they say about that. And this space gave me the chance to just leave my job and be a full-time artist for more than a year now, almost 2 years, and it's a beautiful feeling. Sometimes I can't believe that.
That makes me so genuinely happy to hear, Charisma. I'm serious. Like, it's I always love hearing artists like success stories and like coming from somewhere and then deciding to like choose themselves and choose their work and it working out for them and then
Yeah.
them being successful because of that. Like, it's beautiful. I love hearing that, and I totally agree with you. Instagram, I'm sorry, Instagram is bullshit. Like, it's cool for like a portfolio,
Hmm.
but like Twitter, just like being able to be social and like make
Yes.
friends and connections on Twitter, it's totally different than Instagram.
Yeah, I kind of saw the light with this space, and I see the chance to really make genuine connections and truly dive more into art. That's why I fired myself from my old job way before making money with this space. But I was feeling it. I was like, I cannot really fail after all this work, and I was truly feeling myself because I've been working for it, and I really love my craft. So I was like, at some point, someone will notice. So I just fired myself from my old job, and I made it work. Now it's working, and yes, so happy.
And you said it's been almost 2 years, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, it's March of last year. It's super fast.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like in the exact same boat because I kind of like because of COVID I like had to lose my job and
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what to do, and this was right before NFTs and I was just making collages.
Yeah, I
I
remember.
was able to like make collages and sell them, and then I got a MacBook, and so I don't know. I just love hearing other people's like success stories. Congrats, man. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know also, just going back to like your art making process, do you have to be in like the right headspace? Like, do you have like a ritual that you go to? Like, do you listen to like music or anything that just gets you in the mood to like create, or are you able to just create art like anytime, anywhere? It doesn't matter.
Uh, where inspiration is different from working for me. Sometimes I get inspired in the middle of the day, and I can write about ideas pretty much everywhere. I do not care if I'm surrounded by people or in the middle of the streets, or I don't know. But when it comes to apply the ideas, I just need to be alone in a dark room with music and working. But in general, I get inspired by pretty much everything that I see. I try to see things by a different perspective, and even reading a book gave me a lot of inspiration back in the days, and still do. I'm working on a collection against the Italian government and propaganda. It's gonna be an installation that were inspired by every books I read pretty much. I read a lot every day for hours, and definitely it helped me a lot. And yeah, but when it comes to create, I just need to sit on this room, have some kind of some nice music, and I kind of just forget about it. I just keep working, and I don't notice. I don't really listen to the music I'm hearing. I have music in my ears, uh, but the thoughts on my head are like speak more volume of the music I'm listening to. So I just get involved in the process and I keep creating.
I love that, man. That's awesome. And just out of pure curiosity, do you have like a designated room for creating art, or is it like your bedroom, or like
Yeah,
what's your setup look like?
yeah. I have this bedroom, and I'd love to show you how it look like, because it's a mess. It's full of stickers, papers all around with ideas and sketches, and I have this kind of little I don't know the name of it in English. It's like a little billboard where I draw all my upcoming things that I have to do, and I have
Cool.
several books here and there, and it's a mess. But it's like if even for a fly, even the spider web, it's a mess. But for the spider, it's not. It's just the way they live.
Mhm.
So I truly enjoy it here. I'm trying to move on a bigger space, but taxes and NFTs in Italy is like a super gray zone. So trying to get
No one really knows about it over there yet.
they do, but you need to find someone that is truly into it. And I found that
I see.
I found a nice team of people, and I'm trying to
Oh, that's good.
yeah, and I'm trying to figure things out and move as quickly as possible into a bigger apartment for myself, and I'd love to maybe leave the country because Italy is not it at the moment. I don't like this place. I don't like fascist people, so that's why I'm trying to move.
Where would you like to go to?
Well, I'm visiting. But I've been in Spain, and love Spain. Nice people, nice landscapes, nice food, and people looks nice, looks chill, and completely different from Italy. And it's been fun there. Been there for weeks. For a week. I'm gonna be in Portugal in a week to see how it is. But I loved Asia. Moving to Japan would be the dream, but it's tough to work in there because you have to prove you are bringing some kind of good things to the society. And if you are an artist that work digitally, it's pretty much impossible to work there.
Yeah, one day you got to come to the big city, New York, and
Yeah.
me and Max can meet you.
Yeah, I cannot wait. We need to.
Yeah, let me pull up my next question 1 second.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, did you grow up like creating artwork, and was it like promoted by like your peers growing up, or was it something that you discovered like in your adulthood?
I discovered it when I discovered the pain, I'd say. As a child, I was really interested in classical music and cinema. I used to watch a lot of movies with my dad, and I still do a lot. I still watch a lot of nice movies, and it's art for me, but never created really. But when you grow up, you face things that truly change your perspective, and I wasn't really able to talk about it to people, and I have I need to find a way to do so. So I started creating art.
It's kind of like art is your therapy. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'd say.
And how old were you whenever you started like discovering that you needed to create art to like get through your emotions?
I'm 25 now. I was probably 20. When you
Oh wow, you've only been making art for 5 years? Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's I remember when I was probably 18, 17, downloaded Photoshop and started doing YouTube thumbnails for YouTubers, and this kind of waste of times. But after that, I was really into super effects, trying to replicate some kind of nice things that you see in the movies, some kind of crazy landscape and this kind of things. But I wasn't really moved by any reason, because every time that I was doing that, I was like, well, I'm wasting my time. I don't really enjoy that. I enjoy the way the things look, but I don't enjoy the process. So I'm wasting my time. And when I kind of faced my first breakup, kind of felt the need to speak to someone. When you are younger, you tend to exclude your friends from your relationship At least that's what I did, and I regret that. And so you don't have you lose pretty much everyone around you. So you need to find a way to talk to, and that's when I started creating.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, it's like art is a way for you to release your emotions.
Yeah.
You know, like they can't be put into words, so you gotta just let it out with paint or something. I love that. That's beautiful. Let's see. So, just in a general sense, do you have any like main inspirations? They can be alive, dead. It could be music. It could be movies. Just like anything that really like is like, this is a huge inspiration of mine.
I have several, and in different fields. I'm really inspired by cinema, as I said. So there are a bunch of directors that I truly love. I love their vision. I try to read more about them, the more I can about them, and probably Aronofsky is one of them. And I'd say Cronenberg is a master in what he did. He's a visionary. He predicted a lot of stuff that is going on right now. So one of the best for me. Then in music, I listen to a lot of bands. Like the emo music that I've recently discovered, because in Italy, I never had like some kind of new smartphones when I was a child, and I wasn't really able to listen to music and stuff from America and in general from the world. So when I grew up, I started listening to different kind of music, and I was really into, and I'm still really into bands like Pierce the Veil and Get Scared, and they inspire me. They have a nice way to approach the same thing, because we always talk about the same thing, about loneliness, love, sadness, and stuff, but it's the way you approach them that it's completely different, and they have a nice way to do. So them, and in terms of artists, well, a lot of people in this space as well, and a lot of people that are listening to this space. So I couldn't say my favorite. I don't have a favorite in general. It's like saying,
yeah, that's a hard question. Yeah, there's so much inspiration constantly. It's hard to pick like a number one.
Yeah, it's like saying that you have a favorite color. I stopped having a favorite color when I was 8, probably. I don't have a favorite color. It depends on so many things. Maybe your favorite color,
Yeah.
and as you will say, it's green, but green on the shoes might not look good. So you prefer the same shoes with a different color. So it's that your favorite color? It's not. So I've stopped it. I don't have favorites in general. I stopped thinking about that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Even when it comes to color, like since you use that example, like using color in work, it's hard to have a favorite color because sometimes your favorite color might not go well with what you're trying to create. You got to like find a nice color that goes with it,
Yeah, maybe your favorite color is purple, so you're gonna paint everything purple. So the sky will be purple, the shirt will be purple, the tree will be purple. It doesn't make sense. You have maybe you tend to.
You gotta have contrast.
Yeah, maybe you tend to create on a certain gradient of colors, but maybe you are more of a warm artist. Maybe someone else is create colder works, but it doesn't mean you have a favorite color.
Yeah, no, I agree with you for sure. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
I wanted to ask as well, if you could say anything to your child self, what would you say?
Nothing. Yeah, it's correct for my child self to making mistakes like I did and grow this way. Doesn't mean that the mistakes I did in the past are my friends, but they helped me. So I wouldn't say nothing.
That's a great answer. Damn, I was not expecting that. You really knocked that out of the park. That's a great answer. No, I mean, dude, I totally agree, man. I feel like every mistake you make, like growing up, it's all for a reason. You got to just learn from them. Like, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, what should I say to him? Like, well, sit on the chair and start creating. Okay, creating about what? You need to face failure. You need to face rejection first. You need to feel pain first. You need to feel love first. You need to feel happy first. So, I wouldn't guide him through that. It's hard
Yeah.
to just face things, and yeah, probably get destroyed and feel depressed for a long time, but you're gonna work about that.
No, that's beautiful, man. I love that, and I completely agree with that sentiment. Like everything happens for a reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I was curious earlier. I wanted to ask, and I forgot. Since you mentioned you read a lot of books, I was curious, like, what kind of genres do you partake in?
Truly everything. I don't stick with a style, but when I started, um, I loved Stephen King for sure because he writes really, really well. And even for someone that doesn't really like to read, it's super, super soft and you can read it really easily. Shortly after, I got interested into like some kind of psychology and philosophy stuff. So Kierkegaard, Schopenhauer, this kind of people, and truly changed my perspective and the way I approach things in general. And maybe Schopenhauer is the more pessimistic I ever read, but it's true in a lot of things. You need to read about them, knowing that it was 400 years ago. So many things might not fit with this current situation, but in general, they give nice. They really helped me. They're great.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I've been loving Philip Dick as well. Nice fantasy stuff. And once you read this kind of books, like Solaris and this kind of beautiful books, you stopped loving the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, like because it's some kind of bullshit. To be honest, I cannot understand why
Wait, what? Sorry, what is bullshit? What did you say was bullshit?
the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe that pretend to
Oh,
be
I see.
some kind of
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic, but if you ever read like nice books, real nice fantasy books by Philip Dick, for example, you're gonna see that they try to replicate this kind of ideas, but the guy did it probably 70 years ago and did it way better than that. So that's why I'm not impressed by uh, the movies that the masses truly enjoy. Um, I mentioned before that the cinema, like Interstellar, is really beautiful. It's a nice movie, but it's something that I have already read in the past. So it's not that new for me, and it's not that beautiful. I don't consider that a whole masterpiece, but just because I've been into reading books, and that's something that you read as soon as you start reading about fictional and fantasy movies, fantasy books. So, yeah.
Okay, I have to ask, since you mentioned like a decent movie, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? It just came out like in the last couple.
No, I did. Who made that?
Oh fuck, I can't remember the name of the director.
Okay.
It's like a really popular. It's like a sci-fi. I can Google who made it really quick. It's like a sci-fi, like, I don't know. If you're into like cinema a lot, I really think you should give
Okay,
that movie
because
a
maybe
chance.
I've seen it, but the title in Italian sometimes it's completely different. It's not even the translation of
Oh,
it.
I see.
So
It's like a sci-fi. Like the premise of the movie is that there's this woman is chosen, just in a basic sense. This woman is chosen to like save the entire universe. Like, but it goes way deeper than that.
Okay.
But that's like the basic like premise. But anyways, it's like I saw it like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I've seen it four times since then, and it's in my like, top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Literally, I highly recommend that you watch
A
it.
movie I
Seriously.
suggest about this genre is Ex Machina. It's really nice.
Oh yeah.
Beaut-
That one's crazy.
I suggest this movie to pretty much everyone. It's not long, and it's beautiful.
Wait, that's the one about the robot, right?
Yeah, there's this. Yeah, I don't want to make any spoiler, but yeah, there's this robot. Yeah, one.
Oh yeah. I'm looking up. Yeah, no, I saw this movie. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Everything Everywhere All at Once. Gotta watch that. Here, hold on. I'm pulling up the next question. Okay. Do you have any advice that you would say to someone that is just starting to create artwork?
Different. I have a bunch of advice. The first one is keep doing you, and do not focus too much on the trend that are going on. Especially if you join Twitter, you're gonna see many trends, many different waves. I remember when I first joined that there was this wave of 3D works, and so everyone just started doing 3D works for some reason, and the nature really worked her ass off to make everyone so different. So I don't see why you should stick with a wave created by a bunch of people. So just keep doing you, create the things that you like and not what other people like, because this is where you are your true self. If you have a style and you start to create in another people's styles just because you see it's successful, it's just not gonna work for you. I promise. Not doesn't matter how hard you try, it's not gonna work. So please, if you have a motive and a reason to create, do that in your style and do that with your own experience, and because you lived a different life from me, like a whole different life, and I want to hear about that, and I don't want it to be the same as another one. So talk about yourself, talk about what happened to you, talk about what you're gonna do, and create. I truly enjoy and truly want to see and know about you. We truly learn about everyone. I remember when I felt like an expert in Photoshop. I was like, yeah, I'm so good. And then jumped on searching for tutorials on how to do certain things. And even the guy that you do not expect to know things can help you. So doesn't matter if you feel super small in this space. I'm sure that if you're here, you have something to say. And people, I swear, if you put your own art and you stay genuine to your craft, people are gonna enjoy that and gonna interact with you and gonna ask you about your work, and you're gonna feel happy and amazing. But it's gonna happen just and only if you work on your style and you proceed creating with genuine love and for your craft.
Yo, dude, I completely resonate with everything that you just said, man. Like, I think not even just in like the whole NFT space, but just as art in general,
Yeah.
I think it is so important to just stay in your own lane and stay what feels good to like you. Like, be true to yourself, and people will see that. Like, people are gonna see, oh wow, he's like doing his own thing, and then they're gonna like want to know more once they see that you're doing your own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you just try to create like other people just because you see a movement, you're just like another wave in the ocean. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So please create because you love to. Create art because you want to make it and not to make it. You know what I mean? Like not because you need to make it in the art world, but because you feel a need. And I was talking about that with Fo. You probably know about him. And
Yeah. He's the homie. Yep.
yeah, I've noticed that people that created your own wave are the people that started creating way before this space. So it probably means way before making money. And a couple of years ago, a lot of us like never had any like we knew that we were like there wasn't no way to make money, you know. So we just kept.
Oh man, I was here, bro. I totally get it. I was here.
Yeah, so we just kept
Before
creating.
the NFTs, like I didn't know what the fuck I was
Yeah,
doing. Go ahead.
so we just kept creating because we were loving that, and we still do that, but now we can sell our work. And if you just jump on this space just because you want to sell, people will notice that shortly after.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Like whenever I was first starting on Twitter, like I wasn't thinking about money. Like I was just trying to get my art out there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted people to see what I was making.
Yeah.
And now NFTs come along, and it's like, hey, you can sell your work. Like even if it's digital, you can sell your work and make like good money for it. And that just kind of, I feel like it's changing so many people's lives. You know what I mean? At least from what I see on Twitter, like I see all of these artists just like getting paid what they deserve finally for the first time. It's such a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Before I forget, I wanted to ask because you mentioned earlier when you were talking about books, you mentioned that you are into some like psychology, and I don't know if you said self-help books or anything like that, but there's a couple authors that I'm very familiar with. I was wondering if you knew who they were. Do you know who Eckhart Tolle is?
No.
He has this book called The Power of Now, and I don't know if you're into like meditation or anything like that, but
yeah, I do.
Just the whole premise of The Power of Now is just like harnessing the present moment and how the present moment is all we will ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I feel like if you're into meditating and that's like your vibe,
yeah,
maybe give it a shot.
Yeah, I read a couple of books about meditation, but I try to do that, but I don't know. I feel too like I need to always move. Like even now that I'm talking, I keep moving my left hand, and with the right hand I'm holding my phone, and I'm keep walking in the room, and I do that every day. Like I can't stand still. But I've read about this kind of books that are about self-growth and these kind of things. But once you read 3 or 4 from them, they kind of get repetitive.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's why I try to pick a few and suggest them with the people. If you are into reading, I suggest from Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules of Life. Truly beautiful book.
I'm gonna have to get these like you're gonna have to send me some of these recommendations in the DMs, because I've been getting into audiobooks recently, because I never was really good at like finishing books. I would always start it and not finish. But audiobooks, I discovered that I like audiobooks.
Well,
so I've been listening to audiobooks.
Well, if you like to listen to books, I suggest Peterson in general, because he has a YouTube channel, I think, but did a bunch of interviews and a bunch of conversation with cool people that truly last for an hour or two, and I listen to them as well while I create. It's different and it's kind of hard for me, because when I work and listen to another language, I focus too much on trying to understand what they are saying in English, you know.
Oh, do you listen in English?
Yeah, because Peterson is English, talks in English.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's from Canada, I think. And
okay.
So I usually listen to maybe some kind of podcast about news, but not news, but like documentaries, these kind of things, but in Italian, because I can understand without looking at subtitles and stuff. When it comes to listening to English, I kind of struggle, because I need to focus on too much on what they are saying.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
When did you learn English? Like, was it recent, like in the last couple of years, or have you been learning it like since you were younger?
I'd say probably when I started listening to when I had the um, the fun to listen to YouTube and different music from the one that you listen
I
to
see.
the radio, because in Italy you hear pretty much Italian music and some hits here and there, but the same song every time. And I
Hmm.
didn't really have a car because I was way younger, and so the time I spent in the car was just because I was going to school with my mom. So I didn't really have the chance to, you studied that in English in school, but it's completely different when you have to talk in English. So
Oh, they teach you English in school,
yeah,
like from whenever you're younger?
yes,
I see.
yes they do,
Gotcha.
yes they do, but for an hour each week, and I don't think you can learn English by talking that.
No, that's definitely not enough.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
Even for any, not even English, just any language. Like I feel like you got to really like immerse yourself into the language in
yes,
order to like actually know it.
yes. 1 hour is not
Okay,
enough.
well, so looks like we're starting to come to a close here soon. I'm gonna just ask. I'm gonna ask this last question, and then after that, I'm gonna see if anybody wants to come up and just see if they have any questions.
Okay.
This last question is mainly just kind of like very broad. I was just wondering if you have any sort of like final thoughts or like anything that you really just want to say that you didn't say during this interview that you need to get out. No pressure. If you have nothing, then I'll just go to see if anybody else has questions.
Uh, hmm. I don't know. I probably say pretty much everything. I truly love to talk. So if you pull if you press the right button, I'm gonna talk for hours. But
Yeah.
I think that's it. Uh,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I really want to reiterate what you said about like creating art just for art's sake, like not thinking about the money. Like I really think anyone that's coming into the space, like keeping that in mind is how you succeed with art. Like just make art for yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need to do, you know?
Yeah. I
But
probably Omen said that yesterday, and I tweet about it. You don't have to mint everything you create. And especially as Omen said, it's beautiful to see the work you mint. It's improving. Okay, so if you create 2 pieces in a week, it's pretty much impossible that you improved by creating a single work. You improve drawing faces by drawing it 100 of them. So that's how I mint as
it's
well.
consistency.
Yeah, that's how I mint as well. I don't like to mint just for because I need to, or because I need to be active in this space. I'm active already, but I don't like to mint just because. Um, I like to mint the pieces that I'm really proud of. That when you finish a piece and you say the day after, not when you finish it, because when you finish a piece, you are ready to share that with everyone, and the day after you say, "Wow, I really create that. That's crazy." And then the day after you're like, "Okay, I'm not able to create that ever again." And if I comes to this term, and if I say that to myself, it means that this piece needs to be minted. If I see a piece of mine that I've created in the past and I said, well, I don't like that, I mean, I can do better than that, I'm not minting that. That's why I wait for a few days before minting my works. I don't just create a mint. I just I
Yeah.
just need to see um, how I perceive that, because I have like probably 15 artworks to post right now that I've finished already. So I'm not.
Damn.
Yeah, the way people react to it doesn't affect me. So it doesn't matter if it does like 50 likes or 2,000. Doesn't really matter. I already know what I'm gonna mint, and no matter what people will say about it. I have these works that I did in the past few months and weeks and days, and I know which pieces I'm gonna mint because I've waited and I've waited some time before even considering the idea of minting them. I created them because I wanted to, because I was enjoying the process, but it doesn't mean that I started them because I was gonna mean something. I've just created for the sake of creating.
Yeah, for sure. And just an idea to like piggyback off of that. I feel like even I do this sometimes. Sometimes like I'll see a piece of work, and I've seen other artists do this before too. Like I'll make a piece of art that I'm not really that fond of,
Mhm.
and then I'll just get discouraged. I'll get discouraged, and I'll just like not want to make art anymore. But as soon as I like let go of that, like that whole disappointment, and I'm able to just like keep making art, keep making art, keep making art.
Yeah.
Eventually, I always make something that I'm like happy with. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
And
And you kind of have to accept that sometimes like not all your art is going to be great, and that's like okay, like it's not a failure, you know?
yeah, and I don't want to fall into hypocrisy, because I said that I never know what I'm gonna mint. It's not always this way, because as I said in the beginning of the interview, I said that I was working on a few pieces about the Italian government and propaganda in general. And I know I'm gonna mint them, even if I haven't started them yet. But because the idea was in my head way before that. So I have probably, I don't know, a lot of pages of in my sketchbook with ideas of the pieces I'm gonna do, and they are already done in my head, you know. So that's why I said I'm gonna mint them for sure, because it's important for me. It's a political message that I want to say, and I want to be clear with my position sometimes.
Yeah, you got to be upfront about that sometimes. I agree for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty much out of questions. If anyone in the space right now wants to come share their thoughts or ask Charisma a question, now would be the time to do so. And if not, or yeah, if you want, you can just like raise your hand if you have a question. And if not, unless you have something else you'd like to say, Charisma, I think I'm pretty much out of questions. But you knocked it out of the park, bro. You killed it. Thank you again for doing this.
No, thank you for having me for your first interview. Was really bold because we never talked before.
I think it worked out beautifully, though. I feel like we both kind of killed it.
Yeah.
Not to like toot my own horn or anything. But...
Yeah. You're super nice with that. Congratulations, because it's really hard, and you made me feel comfortable about talking. So that's nice.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
That makes me happy to hear. Okay, I think we got a question. Let me see what Reddy has.
Yeah, let me drink a bit of water. I'm gonna listen anyway.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Been listening to Charisma spit for the past hour or so. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
No problem. I guess sort of it's like a fairly basic question, but if you could work with any artist, like Web3 or in the real world or whatever, who would you want to work with most, and what would you want to do with them?
I've read the Kandinsky books, and they inspired me to connect my art with music. So I'd love to have Mozart create a piece of music by looking at one of my works, just to feel like what sounds like my art. That's the kind of collaboration I do with some people from the past.
No,
you said Mozart? Is that what you just said?
What?
You said Mozart.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what you just said. Yeah, no, that'd be sick. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Reddy. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was just trying. I was just saying that that's a great answer. But so you would be most like if you could ideally work with anyone, you would want to work with Mozart on music.
Not on music, but trying to tie up music and art. Most of the most beautiful movies have beautiful music as well, because it fits perfectly with the mood. And I feel like one of my piece with some nice background music could really introduce you more into my mind. And one person that could create such an amazing piece of music, it's Mozart, probably. I love Liszt as well, Paganini, Vivaldi, and those people, but Mozart is always the first one that crossed my mind. So that's how I imagine a kind of collaboration. But a collaboration in a single piece of art, I don't know. It needs to happen because I'd love to create with pretty much everyone from the past, because I have everything to learn from people like Goya or Malevich and those people. But it doesn't mean that you can. Maybe the styles just don't fit together. Maybe you can't force the process. So it depends. It depends on a lot of things, and I cannot say a single person I'd like to collaborate to. But when you first asked the question, definitely Mozart having my like creating something about my heart would be the the dream, I'd say. That's a nice combination.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think everything that you said is a majorly valid thing, especially combining art and music. It creates a really powerful effect on people when a visual combined with even more effective music.
Yeah, especially because they are completely different mediums. Because when you look at a piece of work, like a painting, it took you probably 5 seconds to say if you like that or not. For music, it's different. You need to listen to the whole song, and it might last maybe 3 minutes before you say if you like that or not. So mixing them will be a nice contrast. You are forced to look at the piece for more time and listen to the music at the same time.
Yeah, no, I think that you're totally right. It's one of those things where like both of them are great separately, but when they come together, that's where you can really see a true masterpiece be born.
Yes.
That was a great question, Reddy, by the way. And just from my own personal experience, I just went to the MoMA in San Francisco, and there was like a room of Twombly's.
Yeah.
Cy Twombly, and I just gotta say, Charisma, I feel like you and Twombly would go crazy. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I have a beautiful book from him. It's like one of the books that he was selling when he did an exhibition, and
ooh, that sounds fancy.
Yeah, I like to collect art books when I can, and I've tried to study him, but it's so tough. It's really hard because the guy was truly cultured as fuck.
He was what as fuck? Sorry.
Cultured, like he knew about a lot of history in general and mythological things. Is nice. Yeah, absolutely. I still need to reach this kind of level of knowledge in general, but will be crazy.
I think we got one other question. Someone asked to speak. So Nine, you're welcome to.
Yeah, drinking
speak
more
whenever you're ready.
Drinking more water. I'm listening to.
Actually, I don't think I have much to say about this, but I'm coming. Excuse me for the moment, please.
Okay, no worries. I think unless someone else wants to come up and ask a question, I'm pretty much all out of questions. I think Charisma, unless you have something to say, I think you're pretty much done as well. But
yeah,
I think that might be about it.
Yeah, up forever probably. That's the only thing I have to say right now.
Up forever. Yeah. Up forever. 100%.
Next tattoo is up forever.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, I think we'll call it then.
Yeah.
Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, and Charisma, thank you for speaking your truth, speaking about your life, your art.
No, thank you.
Very much appreciated, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, for real. It really has been a pleasure.
No, thank you for considering me for your first interview. So it's magical. It's really important for me. Because we both are gonna remember this moment. It's not just an
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not just an interview. It was the first interview you did, and I'm gonna remember that as well. So it's really magical and a beautiful moment for me, and so grateful. And thank you for your time and everything. Thank you for listening to my friends. I see beautiful people in here, and that's it.
Likewise, brother. It goes right back to you, bro. Much love, and I look forward to seeing the piece that you're about to drop later today. I'll be sure to hit a retweet on that.
Okay, man. See you. I'm gonna message you right now.
All right.
Thank you.